What's good, everybody? What's good? It's your boy Robb D, aka Robb Diggie, BKA Robb D, in the place to be with what we are going to be calling the Diggie A-2 Exclusive playlist, where we get to talk about strong contributors to the hip hop culture. And we're going down south today to Houston, Texas, and I'm going to have a conversation with Lil Keke. Now, if you're not familiar with Lil Keke, he is a huge staple in Southern hip hop from way back into the 90s. Keke probably don't know this though, but the first time I heard Keke was on a song called 25 Lighters. He probably like, dang, man, that was my joint. Keke, that was my joint. 25 Lighters with him. Rest in peace to our homeboy Fat Pat and DJ DMD. When I saw that and I heard that flip on I'll Be Sure, I was like, yo, that shit is hot. Like, I'm feeling this shit right here. So fast forward a couple years later, I heard him on Chuck Up the Deuce with UGK and Paul Wall, and he's done a lot of other things outside of that. His contribution to hip hop is unmatched. He has been in the game for 25 years, and he is a Houston legend. Mr. 713 himself, ladies and gentlemen, is in the building with me to hang out and talk about life, hip hop, and his new album that's coming out today. So when you all are watching this today should be February 11th. This album drops today. You all go stream that, go find it, get your hands on it, stream it. 16 tracks of excellence. We're going to have Keke come on and talk to us about that here momentarily. Before we get into the interview, actually, I want to remind you all, make sure you go out to diggie2.com, go visit us, go stream us, go subscribe to the channel. Make sure you support the movement. We're trying to keep this thing moving and get everybody a chance to get on and shine. But without further ado, let me introduce to you all Marcus Edwards, otherwise known as Lil Keke. He is in the building with us, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to bring him in real quick. Lil Keke, my brother, was good. Talk to the folks, man. What's happening, big bro?
What's happening? It's an honor. It's a privilege. Anytime I get a chance to step out with somebody and speak about my career, it's an honor and a privilege. Thank you for having me today.
Man, for sure, man. You being too humble, man. You a legend, dog. You a goddamn legend, man. I'm talking to a legend right here, man. This is crazy.
That's how you stay around. That's how you stay around. You got to be humble. I'm just as appreciative of y'all having me here to discuss my career 25 years later, just as much as y'all paying homage. I got that much, gratitude and respect for what y'all do too.
Man. Love, bro. So let's just go ahead and jump right into it, Keke. I want to talk about your relationship with hip hop. And what I mean by that is, what got you into hip hop music, or who were some of your early influences to get you to do your craft?
Well, my early influence was I'm an OG cat, so I grew up on my first music was East Coast music, where as far as Run DMC, and I used to love LL Cool J and Fat Boys and Eric B and Rakim.
Yeah.
EMD. I grew up on that music first, and that was really important for me, like in middle school, because that was the first music that I heard that we had to try to remember how to recite. If you can recite Peter Piper, Pick Pepper, Run Rock Round, that meant something at our age. And then as time progressed, I kind of got into the West Coast music, the more profanity and Eazy-E and NWA, and those were my early influences. So when I did get my chance to start digging around with hip hop a little bit, and we started getting influenced by Screw and doing what we do, even after that, my influence that I wanted to make, my relationship that I wanted to make with hip hop was being an ambassador from Texas. We didn't really have, Scarface was great, huge and big, but I'm saying from an underground standpoint, everything was about the East Coast and the West Coast. Mm-hmm. So my first album was called Don't Mess with Texas, and the statement behind that was being an ambassador for Texas and making sure that when people was telling me don't name it that and move here and go here, I just wanted to stand up for the city. So my relationship with hip hop has always been about making sure that Texas had an opportunity to be known as stars, man. And I'm still at that same mission right now.
Already, man. I remember that South Side joint. Come on, man. I know all about that, man. I'm a fan, family, and man, just listening to your maturation process from where you started to where you are, where you're going. We're definitely gonna get into that a little bit more. But you mentioned something about the Screwed Up Clique. And to just give the audience a little bit of context, the Screwed Up Clique was a collective of artists in Houston, or in the Houston area. And I'm going to name off some of those original members. Keke, if I miss anybody, let me know. But, shout out to DJ Screw, AID, Big Mo, Big Hawk, Botany Boys, Fat Pat, KK, Mike D, Lil O ESG, who is accredited for the actual chopped and screwed style, as what ESG was mainly known for. But before we get into that even further on, though, my brother, is I want to give a quick rest in peace to, of course, DJ Screw, Big Hog, Big Mo, Gator, and Fat Pat for sure, man. Brother lost their life too early, just to the cause and everything like that. Did I miss anybody, my good sir? Did I miss anybody?
You know, we got cats, you know, it's we're extended family. So you got people like Mafio and 3-2.
Okay.
And
Okay.
you know, guys like that who have passed away too. But the Screwed Up Click, it started early with me, Fat Pat, and Screw. That was gonna be kind of sort of like the original, you know, like I say, it was sort of like a Run DMC thing.
Yeah.
And the DJ and the rappers. And then as people start growing along, as the mixtape movement started happening, and you know, other rappers started to come, Big Pokey. Big Mo, and people started to come along, and these people started to become stars from the mixtape movement. But I was there early. I was one of the first ones there. I started like 93, 94 as a kid. And I got my first big break in 96 with Pimp the Pen on 3 in the morning. And we kind of took off that. But before then, I had so many legendary screw tapes, a lot of screw tapes, a lot of samples, and a lot of songs that y'all hear today from a lot of artists. There's a lot of my samples from my freestyles. And I was one of the first originals, man, from the culture of even bringing this about this drinking and smoking and riding. And the Screwed Up Click, we just grew. And there's a lot of people that you hear claim the Screwed Up Click because it was a family thing also. You got people who were close to Screw, like I heard his name, Depot and different people like that. These Screw partners and stuff like that. They weren't actual entertainers or rappers that became big rappers like us, but they were intertwined into that big circle of family of making that culture come up. So you'll hear, but I always tell people, not the Screwed Up Click family, but the Screwed Up Click side from an entertainment or a rap standpoint. Me, Pokey, Hawk, Mike D, KK, different stuff like that. Those were the rappers. So we started, and when the independent game first took off, we were doing crazy numbers, man. 50,000 the first week, 100,000 on tapes. I actually done 40,000 the first week on my tape. That's still a record here from an independent standpoint. And years later, we've done millions independent. You know what I'm saying? That our movement and the Screwed Up Click and our era is transferred from every era, from vinyl to cassette to CD to streaming, all the way to NFT, if that's what it's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just proud to be here 25 years later and still representing that particular cause for my fellas that not here to be able to represent it like me.
That's what's up, man. And you know what's crazy about that when you're saying that, you know, you have people that were a part of Screwed Up Click, you had affiliates, then you had the Swisher House team, who was also kind of like a conglomerate. So it's just like a movement, like a Houston movement.
Like I'm not trying to leave out anybody, or we were just speaking early Screwed Up Click.
Correct.
We got Grace, we got Los, and these people are early and with us too, and Zero and Trays, and there's a lot of people in the family. But I was just speaking of my early days. I got there in 92, 93, and I tell people all the time, I beat everybody there. It wasn't nobody there when I got there. You know what I'm saying? So I watched all these people come, and except for Fat Pat, me and Fat Pat, we were kind of there at the same time. And we watched this thing grow, and it's a beautiful thing, man. Sometimes, man, you know, we don't get as much recognition or as much praise or props that we probably should. But the culture of Houston rap was built on what we did with those mixtapes.
Yeah, man, the mixtape game was strong. I think it was strong across the South, even, man. Like I live in Atlanta, Georgia, so yeah, the mixtape game was mean in them early '90s and the 2000s, man. So yeah, mad shout out to the mix game and that importance of the mixtape to get your word out there, or you selling mixtape out the back of your car or whatever you had to do to get your hustle on. You know what I'm saying? People were doing that, and that takes me to my next question for you, Keke, and that's the maturation process. So I want to talk about, if you were to go back, let's say 25, 25 years to your old self, what would you tell your old self about the process that you were getting ready to go down? Or would you give your old self some advice about what to look out for?
I would just tell myself, man, sometimes when you have a lot of talent, when you're extremely talented, you tend to put off. And the only thing that I would tell myself from earlier was, don't put off today for tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? a lot of things that I got done tomorrow that I probably that I could have got done today. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like that now. You know what I'm saying? I'm real. I'm on to it. So, and that just comes with maturity because I wouldn't go back and use money or anything like that because I had to mature into everything that I got right now. The money that I have now, the credibility I have now, the relationships I have now, I wasn't even prepared for them.
Yeah.
Young. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'd have had this money young, I'd have blew it, I'd have smoked it, I'd have whatever it was. So just mature enough to understand that. So if I had to go back, I would just put more attention to detail based on go for it while it's that this game it's not always promised. And sometimes, you know, when you're young and you're doing it, you just think you have so much time. And I tell people all the time, I tell young cats, hey man, you can be 20, 30, then 40 real fast.
Mm-hmm.
Real fast. I got young cats, man, that used to call me OG and all this 10 years ago. And I see them now, I tell them 10 years to fast, now you OG now.
Now you the OG, yeah. Yeah.
But the difference be between your OG and my OG, what have you done in that span? In the span of becoming an OG, I done 1,000 things and still going. So that's the only thing that I would probably go back from a maturity standpoint would be to, hey man, take advantage of every opportunity as it presents itself. Yep. You know, God has blessed me to continue to get more opportunities later, but it's just things that I wish I would have. Because with that being said, I got no regrets. You can't get here without the rest of it. You know what I'm saying? This doesn't happen if this doesn't happen. I just know that, and I tell that to young artists, take advantage of the opportunity as they present themselves in your face. That's it.
Yeah, and one of the things that you mentioned in one of the interviews I caught was sometimes you can influence the culture and not be a rapper, right? Everybody wants to be a rapper. There's 10 million rappers out there in the world. Okay, got it. There are other ways, ladies and gentlemen. If you're watching this, if you're an artist, if you are a podcaster, if you are a news reporter, there's so many different ways to influence the culture. And you spoke about that when I saw your interview, Keke. So I appreciate that because what that does is it limits yourself. So you get out there, you get booed off stage at a show. You're like, damn, man, like I can't rap. Let me pivot and let me do something else. Let me be a manager. Let me be a PR agent. There's so many different ways to influence the culture, man. So I love the way you put that in that interview that I saw the other day, man. So I want to just get your take on that real quick before you move on to the next question. And that is, you know, mainly what are other ways that young artists that are watching this right now that aspire to be a rapper, you know, hit that glass ceiling and then it can't go anywhere else? What would you advise them to do?
See, that's not a conversation that I'm trying to tell people like give up on your dream or soon as it don't go your way. Now, that's not what I'm saying. It's just a lot of people, man, that they love the attention and the flair that goes with the person that's getting all the accolades and all the glory, which is most of the time the rapper or the entertainer. But they can contribute so many other ways to the cause and get just as much as money, or just it depends on what you have. You can make money, be invested, but people don't see that sometimes. Everybody just think that they're supposed to come in and get instant gratification that comes with, you know, and you know, I'm just telling somebody having a conversation, man, sometimes, man, you can be going out your way and spending and doing something. This might not even be the lane for you. You know what I'm saying? Like you could be in this particular space, but you could be doing the wrong thing. Why don't you take your money and really find the right rapper or promote or podcast or do whatever, whatever it is. And if sometimes you have to identify if this is for you or not for your own self before people can tell you, man, you know, hey, man, you can go right now in the backyard and pick up a basketball and dribble it for 30 or 40 minutes, and you already know that you're not supposed to be doing this professionally, no type of way. You know this here. Yeah. That's not don't practice it every day that you're not going to eventually hit a few shots. But are you ready to be dedicated to the point of giving all your other dreams and aspirations to do this? Yeah. And people don't think about that sometimes.
Yeah, that sacrifice, man. You talk about sacrifice. You're speaking right into that sacrifice. Are you willing to sacrifice, you know, hanging out with your boys or hanging out time with your girl for the craft, for the cause? Not a lot of people can handle that. So that's good advice, my big bro. And the other thing I want to mention about that is, you know, when we talk about, you know, your 25 years in the game and you've done so much music over those 25 years, You know, you met a lot of stars and superstars along the way. So who is a collaboration that you missed in the past, and what's a collaboration you want to do now?
Really, man, to be honest, man, like I don't, as time passed, you know, like I'm a cat that's from a different type of era. So I was a cat that missed my times with Ice Cubes and and the people like that, because I really looked up to these people as lyricists from the back of the game. And as far as moving on, man, like I do something with anybody, little babies or any of them, because I like to show that I like to move along with time. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't never have no man, I'm gonna miss this one. Hey man, I wanna deal with the next Jack Harlow, Lil Baby in 2025, if that's what it is. When I see, you know what I'm saying? Now, as far as back in the game, you know, Jay-Z, Dr. Dre, Ice Cube too. I wish I could do any of that. You know what I'm saying? But moving along forward, I'm just like, man, whatever, because I'm willing to work with anything that keeps the progress moving in music. Like, you know, like I told somebody the other day, man, I like Jadakiss, and I was saying this before what happened at the Verses. I was just saying, you know, I kind of consider him sort of like me, a person with a lot of big recognition where he at, and should be, you know, bigger than what he is maybe in the masses.
Absolutely.
So I always look at him like, man, I would want to do a song. And I tell people this all the time. Look what the game, how the gods of the game blessed him. Man, it seemed like he got all his just due in one night.
Yeah.
Everything that the game owed him. You know what I'm saying? Everything that the game owed him, everything. What he did on that Versus that night and the way he presented himself, that's the Jadakiss that we've been new, and all the accolades that went with that after that is what he deserved.
Absolutely.
And I feel the same way about me, man. I just keep rolling, man. I don't think I'm gonna miss nothing, because I'm a spiritual guy. So I don't think I'm gonna miss nothing that God gonna intend. Man, I picked up more accolades later in my career than probably young, because they meant more to me, and I matured in how to handle them a little different now. So if I had to do anything, it'd be something like a Jadakiss or something that's similar to me. And as far as the young cats, hey man, any of them, I love them all. Gunna, I'm in the car listening to Gunna right now.
Hey, don't sleep on Gunna. That new album's fire, man. Don't sleep on Gunna, man. That new album's fire. I got young kids, man. I got teenagers, man. They put me on the young game, man. Man. That's what keep you young, man. Your kids keep you young, you know what I mean?
That's what I'm jamming right now.
Hey man, that's what's up, man. So talk to me, Keke, about this new album you about to drop on us today, man. February 11th, when you all are watching this, February 11th is when Keke is dropping the Legend album, 16 tracks of greatness. He's got some legends on there. He's got some different collaborations. Is going to a couple different areas. I'm gonna just name off a couple of names, Keke, just for a context for those of y'all that want to go out there and support this brother, buy this man's music. I mean, we talk about Big Crit, we talk about Bun B, Slim Thug, Trey the Truth, Paul Wall, Juicy J, and that's just to name a few. I didn't even name everybody on the album. So talk to me about the album, man. Talking about these singles you got out right now to build buzz for it. What's the album feel like? And I want to talk to you about the last track on the album, which is called, I want to say it was S.U.C. S.U.C. was the last track on the track list. So I want to talk about that in particular, because that has a lot of the collectives on there. But what can the fans get from this album, this body of work that you're about to put out?
I gotta don't mess with Texas feel about it.
Okay.
You know, what I mean by that is I worked on it like that.
Yeah.
I'm real big on God gonna bless your effort. You know, whatever type of effort you put into. So I put a great effort into it, man. I start digging more back into my roots, man, of reaching out to people that I know, that love who I am, that key, man, when we're going to do some music, and I tell them that we're going to do it all the time, and I don't. And that's from a producer standpoint. And these are people that want to work with me, and I'm like, man, I need to reach out to some of these people sometime. And they was excited to get it done. But this album is more about, it's not a track list, it's a soundtrack. Man, if you notice over my last few albums, what I try to do, I just remember, man, that I couldn't get these bigger artists when I was young, right? Mm-hmm. So when I catch younger artists, I started this with Self-Made 2 and other. When I started, I wanted to reach out to artists and make them, when they rapping and they feel like we couldn't get, yeah, you can. you can get the key, you can get this. And so I always do my albums and make sure that the younger cats, I'm giving them an opportunity to be around something big, because sometimes they feel like, man, these cats ain't reaching back, or we can't get to the 2 Chainz or the bigger artists. So
Yeah.
I know so I always want to reach back and put people on my album. And man, this is the Texas soundtrack. I feel like I started with We From Texas because it was very important for me to get Texas back excited. Longview, Tyler, Beaumont, Port Arthur, Houston, Dallas, San Antonio. Let's get back excited. We love Georgia. We praise them to death. We love Florida. We praise them to death. Let's get back excited about Texas music and the way we brought this culture and and it worked perfectly. We did a views in a week and a half. Then We From Texas. So I put the legends on there with me, Slim Thug, Zero, and then I slid a Sauce Walk in there.
Yeah.
To throw the balance off and really get the hype up and really get tripping and really and it worked out perfectly.
It did.
So this album is more about, I'm gonna let y'all hear Texas. Now I got the Juicy J's and the Big Crits and on here, but man, I brought out the legends from Texas, man, the Tobys, the new legends, Tobys, the DJ Choses, the Bun, Martina Marie. I got the OGs, Devin, Bun, Slim, Moreau, Jack Freeman, and it's produced well. Mr. Lee, Juicy J, Big Crit, DJ. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? And
Justice League, from what I remember you saying the other day, Justice League got production on there, brother. Like I said, man. I said, man, I gotta check this out. I want to give a shout out real quick to Slim Thug, man. He talked about on when he talked about the song on We From Texas, said Texas tatted on my arm, Houston tatted on my back. I said, yeah, that's what I want to hear. I want to hear that shit, man. I want to hear that. Like that's that gritty shit, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I was like, yeah.
It's a very diverse album. What I mean by that, like I got a track on here with me, Crit, Toby, and Bun B. Different. Real different. Real track.
Fire, man. That's fire, man. So my last question, Keke, is probably one of the most important questions, and that's about legacy. Talk to me about when you're done with the entertainment game, what do you want your legacy to look like? And let me premise this a little bit about what you've already done. So if you guys are not familiar with what Lil Keke has done for the city of Houston, this man has done a lot for the city of Houston in particular. The man is Mr. 713 for a particular reason, for how much he gives back to the community. The mayor granted him 713, which is the area code, but also, if I remember correctly, Lil Keke, remind me if I'm incorrect, that you did a festival on July 13th to celebrate 713 with your being crowned Mr. 713 from the mayor. So just with that in itself, just gives talks to your character, how you want to give back, but it also leaves you a legacy behind. What do you want your legacy to look like, man, when you're done with the microphone, man? When you're done with this entertainment business, what do you want to sit around and look at your kids and your grandkids and like what do you want that to feel like, bro?
I want it to look like a model of consistency. A model of I want to be, if Never Gave Up was a person, I want them to put my face up in there. If never, amen, because this game is very challenging. And people tell them, hey, listen, man, it's 25 years later. I never had a job. I never wanted for anything. I'm blessed. And I tell people, man, let me tell you some of the most important thing. Man, I don't have to do this no more. If it's over today, I'm good. I can live exactly how I'm living. God has blessed me. I'm great. But this is what I tell my kids. Throughout that, man, I was still able to be a father, a son, all these different things that I see. You know what I'm saying? Like I tell people this, man, I've been around the world. I done performed in Japan, had my own tour. I've been everywhere. I could done all types of things. And I was still able to catch every football game my son had. I was still able to catch every Christmas program. So it's more things that's more important to me. I did 4 to 5 million albums, independent, the hard way. I'm talking about from a cassette to a CD to a vinyl to a stream, whatever it took. And when I got to my older age, man, I was like, man, how can I do 100,000? I stopped trying to do one CD. If it took 4 CDs to do 100,000, that's what I did. If it took 2 to do 50, and man, I just want people to remember my career and my legacy as a model of consistency. I had so many times to give up and just let it go, man. Man, I'm on this legend. Man, I got 50, 60 CDs, man, on iTunes, man, in my catalog. So legend is just a time where I wanted to, and man, you got to be You gotta pull that shirt to the side to make an album called Legend and get it embraced by your fan. Legend what? Legend. I really feel like, man, I put in the work to get it done. And legend means to me, I'm the person that takes the criticism, the ridicule, the heat, the drama, my whole career. Screw the click this, they ain't this, they ain't that. I take all the derogatory comment. That's why I'm able to stand up for and get embraced when you're a legend, you're this, you're that. I can embrace both because I've embraced both sides of it. So that's my thing about the people. I took the good with the bad. I stayed down, and I was a model of consistency, which means I'm still at it. I'm still consistent, never giving up, man, and just doing what I do. My story is still in play. I tell people, man, my story ain't finished yet. That's why I ain't telling the book. I got a book on the way. So I'm working, man. I'm working.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. And one of the things I want to leave the audience with is Ice Cube said one time is as long as you got a tongue, you can rap. So what that basically means is as long as you got the passion, don't matter what age you are, don't matter where you at in life, you got the passion and you got something to say, get it out there, man. Just get it out there. You know what I mean?
I use in the Southern way where we say, hey, man, if you jamming, you jam.
Yeah.
You know, if you ain't, and I'm telling you, I'm jamming. You know what I'm saying? and that's the kind of music that I make. I still make music. I make the music for feel good, man. Make people, you know, you riding on Sunday. But this is a little bit more than slab music. Of course, I got the slab feel in there, but I get my overall, man, just a great package of music, man. And I'm used to doing about 11 or 12 songs. I went ahead on this 16 so I wouldn't forget nobody. And like you say, for the last song, which was the S.U.C song, man, I really wanted it longer. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But I wanted to add more people on. But man, when you get wrapped up in you doing it, man. So I got Mike D, Lil O, Lowe's, S.U.C Lowe's, that's Grace brother.
Okay.
I got those. And that's what I wanted to do, man. Do some music and give people some opportunities that hadn't been able. Me and Lil O hadn't done music. Wow, I got on project, he got on mine. Big Pokey on that same track, Flip on that same track, and mixed it up real different. I was gonna put Ro on there too and add some more, but I got Ro on 2 other songs on the album. He's on Texas, which was real big, and then I got him on the about the second or third song on the album too, called Street Dreams, a big banger. Yeah.
I tell you what, Lil Keke, I got the track list in front of me. I'm gonna buy the damn album when it's out. I encourage everybody, let me rephrase it. I implore everybody who's watching this right now, go out there, go to iTunes, go to Amazon Music, wherever you can get your hands on this album, on this project, and listen to the Legend album. I can't wait for it to drop. The 2 singles is hot already. It's already sizzling. So he already got the pot sizzling already with the singles that's out, man. But y'all go out there, support this brother, man. He's been doing it for years and he's continuing to do it and pushing the hip hop culture forward, just like we need an OG to do, man. So with that being said, Lil Keke, we come to the shout out portion of the show. So the floor is yours, my good sir. Who you want to shout out, my good sir? Who you shout out, homie?
I want to shout out to the people that rarely get shouted out. Shout out to Bruce Bain. Shout out to James Hoover. Shout out to Michael Wide. Those are the people who mix and mastered the album. Shout out to Mike Frost. He did the cover to the album. Shout out to Latoria, my publishers, and shout out to So South and my family and the people who Self-Made 713, my team, and the people who put in the ground. The producers and the rappers, we're going to get all the glory when the album comes out. We're going to continue to get praised. But the people behind the scenes and Bashari, the people Awaken Visions, people who doing camera work for me, and the podcasters and the DJs and the bloggers and the people who always continue to push my narrative that it's a legend here. Shout out to y'all, man. And I really appreciate y'all, what y'all do. Sometimes y'all get mentioned second behind the artists. And from me this year, I'm dedicating this album to the people who make the thing work, the fans and the people who really push the narrative for me to be where I need to be.
Man, that's what's up, man. Well said, brother. My shout outs is short. Shout out to you, Lil Keke, for coming on the platform, man. A legend, starting off our exclusive playlist. So definitely you guys go out there, support this brother, what he's doing and has done in the past. So don't start if you want to get a story on Lil Keke, go start in the past with 25 lighters and South Side. Go back to that and then work your way up if you really want the complete story of what this man, the body of work looks like. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to you, Lil Keke, man. Shout out to your team, your movement. Shout out to our PR, Leslie, for putting this together. Shout out to my wife, Miss Connected Dots, Jessica. Shout out to my family, my kids, my grandkids. But Lil Keke, I need a favor.
What you need?
My daughter and my son-in-law, Sylvia and Daniel Torres, are huge fans of yours. And when I told them I was going to interview you, they were so excited. They were playing your music in their house. So I need a favor. If you could do me an honor, sir, a shout out my daughter and my son-in-law, Sylvia and Daniel Torres, with a short message. They live in San Antonio. They're a big fan. It would mean a lot to me and to the fan, brother. If you could take a couple of minutes for me, family.
Sylvia and Daniel Torres, I appreciate y'all. I love support from all over. Your man, he showed me a great time. I'm gonna make sure he get with my publicist, and I'm gonna send y'all a t-shirt, man, for the album. You know, I'm gonna send you a t-shirt for the album. Send me your size, get that to me. We're gonna send you a box first class from Self-Made 713. San Antonio, stand up. Y'all get ready. I will be down there probably in about 2 or 3 weeks. We're setting the tour, doing the Texas tour, getting ready to come through there. So thank you, Sylvia and Daniel Torres. Big salute from Lil Keke. Thanks.
Man, I appreciate it. That's love. Man. That's love, man. And that means a lot to me. Lil Keke, much love and success, all that you can handle in your future, man. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all that I have. I present to you Lil Keke on our first order of exclusive. Y'all stay safe, stay humble, stay hip hop. All right, 100, man. Peace.